Hello, Tamily. It's time for our Ask Tamily interview number 88. And our guest today is Jody. Her Instagram name is Jody Lodge. So if you're not following her, definitely do. She is joining now. 1 second to connect. 88 interviews. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'll push back a little bit. Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us and for being interview number 88.
I love it. This is
So
awesome.
exciting.
Up here. There we go.
So, we have some questions planned for you, but we will also take questions in the chat. So anyone with questions can type them in, and I'll try to scroll through in between and ask you some questions. People already think you look beautiful.
Well, thank you.
So we'll jump right in with our first question, which is when and how did you start the Tracy Anderson Method?
So I started doing it I had broken my foot the summer of 2015. And prior to that, back in like early 2010s around there, I had always driven by the studio in Studio City. And I wanted to join, and I had reached out, and for whatever reason, they weren't accepting members at that time. So they were trying to direct me to New York. And I was just like, I don't want to be in New York. I'm here in LA. And then they were like, well, buy the DVDs. And I was just like, oh, maybe, okay, whatever. It wasn't the time. So after I broke my foot, a friend of mine happened to open up a clothing store across the street from the studio. Oh. And it was all like athleisure wear. And I guess Tracy at that time was doing a Vitality Week that day. And one of the members came across the street to buy some workout stuff. And she's like, oh, you should come across the street. And I'm like, oh, they're not accepting new members. And she's like, yeah, they are. I'm like, really? So I ran across Ventura Boulevard to the Studio City location. I was like all excited. And I walk into the front desk area and I got hit with like a wall of heat. And I was like, what the heck? What is going on here? And SHINee was at the front desk at that time, and I have MS, and so I'm not supposed to be in heat, or it's not recommended, I should say. And I was like, there's no way I'll be able to do this. Like, there's no way. And SHINee, being SHINee, she's like our little sunshine there, is like, you can do it. Give it a shot. You can do it. And I'm like, all right, maybe I can. All right. And that started the journey. It was funny because at that time, people were coming out, and everybody I saw had wet hair. And I'm like, oh, it must be like really big inside with showers and a spa. This is going to be great, So that's when I signed up for just to do some privates, just to see if it was something that was doable.
And it was?
I just kept sticking with it in my brain, like going to Vegas. Like you expect, like I'm willing to lose this amount of money. So I flipped it and I was like, I'm willing to invest this amount of money in my health just to see. It's something that I've always wanted. I have been wanting to do since early 2010. And so I was just like, I'm going to invest in myself and just keep an open mind. And regardless of, my neurologist and what I may be told with MS, everybody's different.
Right.
And yeah, I'm still here, so it's doable.
So have you been a member all the way since then?
I have.
That's amazing.
Yeah, with the exception of the downtime that I've had due to this past year from I had to have some back surgeries and some other, I call them plot twists along the way, but still keeping in touch. That's the beauty of the community, is that even when I'm not physically in the studio, it's like I'm there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The great online part, and just, we meet people.
Absolutely. So, what is the reason that you chose the Tracy Anderson method over other fitness methods?
I've done everything. I was a bodybuilder back and competed in bodybuilding, date myself, whatever, 80s and 90s. And then I started to, I was a runner, and then I broke my foot. But it had always attracted me, and that's when I initially reached out, was because with the MS, there's parts of my body I can't feel. And there's certain body parts that I'm like, I know it's where it is because that's where I last left it, next to like my right leg. My left leg is over there. But where she said she creates balance where there's imbalance. And I've done, so much physical therapy and other forms of exercise, swimming. It's just, I just love that. Create balance where there's imbalance. I'm like, I can get behind it.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, great ass, but
Right. That's a good secondary reason. So on that note, what kind of results have you seen since you've gotten into the method versus before, especially since you were in fitness before?
It's funny because I had talked to Maria Kelling about this because I would see people with their before and like after pictures, and I myself physically, like if anything, I put on weight, but it was like my weight had shifted, with body fat, putting on muscle. But my clothes first, I thought, my clothes were fitting differently, but it was because my butt was being lifted. And I'm like, what's happening back here? Like, And so I noticed it in function, absolutely with my function. And there was a time after I'd been doing the method for a couple of years, and Tracy was in town, and I told her this story. This is when I couldn't believe it. So I was driving my husband's car, and we were in San Diego, coming up an on-ramp, and we were hit by a drunk driver. And I get out of the car, realize this girl is drunk, and I immediately, was trying to talk to her. She was trying to get away, so I had to restrain her. And she was a lot taller and bigger. I mean, she was, but she was trying to punch me and get away before the police got there. But I could hold her, and I didn't lose my balance. And I remember thinking, like, hey, like my core is really strong, or my balance, especially with the MS with balance and stuff.
Right.
So I remember thinking on the side of the road as I was trying to keep her from getting away and blocking punches, that I was like, my arms were stronger, I was more functional, she couldn't tip me off. And yeah, I had told Tracy that story, and she was like, yeah, it's Tracy arm, But that was the moment of clarity of like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And then other things that you may not like to somebody else. I've got back issues. So something even simple of getting out of the car without throwing my back out, or picking up the dog's water bowl. And just because we're in the heat and humidity, which is such a big part of it, for me with my MS, I can now, especially in California or where I live in the valley, it gets pretty hot. But even in other situations, I tolerate the heat and humidity so much better.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. What a wild story that was. That is crazy.
It was random, but I was like, that was the moment. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So we have, I think, a couple questions in the chat. So Deb, which is Tam Menopausal, says you are so positive and determined. You manage to support others like me, even when you are going through such tough times. How do you find that emotional strength?
I know this sounds like a real simple answer. I just do it. There's no gray area. It's black and white to me. There's been times in my life that I haven't been able to walk. I wake up in the morning. I never know, like with the MS, I don't know how I'm going to wake up. So when I do wake up. And I just do. I just do it. I make a gratitude list in my head if I don't handwrite it, which sometimes I'll make a list of like 10 things I'm grateful for, new things every day. And just being in acceptance that this is where I'm at today. Even if I'm having a tired day, and getting out of my head. It's like, how can I help somebody else? Because you can't be all in self-pity if you're thinking about somebody else. So being grateful, being in acceptance, and nothing good happens in here. So, yeah, a friend of mine had said, we were discussing, so we were like, oh yeah, you know, you live in an abusive household. She's like, I live by myself. We're like, exactly. You're like beating yourself more than anybody else can. So stop thinking about you.
Yes,
Do something for somebody else, whether it's even anonymous. Do like something anonymous for somebody else every day. So,
yeah, that is such a point. Yes, definitely. That was an excellent answer. I feel like writing it down, but obviously
I'll text you later.
We have other comments in here. That's the only question I'm seeing. Let me just double check. Okay. Well, if anyone else has questions, please type them in. But we're going to ask you another planned one. So how do you personally get and stay motivated to work out, especially to this level with this method on a regular basis?
Not to like repeat myself, but it's when I never know when I'm going to wake up and not have a good day. So I move when I can because I can. So it's plus the studio. So back when the studio was open, and even now with the coronavirus, with COVID-19, we've got a group text between like quite a few of the Tamily here. There's like Jill at Julie Marguerite, Maria at Burmy, to Maybella. It's just, there's Libby, which I know Libby was trying to, she sent you out a friend request.
Yeah, I think I accepted it right before we started.
Oh, okay, thank you. But no, we keep each other going with Caroline, Caroline. We keep each other going that, like, okay, what are you doing? Did you guys do the Attain today? Did you do fundamental? What did you think? You know, we discussed the trainers. Hi, Olivia. Hi, SHINee. You know, and it's such, like I said, great community. Or I know if I don't want to go when the studio is open, and I know Maria's there waiting for me, or Becky, it's like, okay, or Jennifer McCall. It's like, okay, I know they're there, they're waiting, so I better get my butt there. And yeah, so if you don't show up, they're like, where are you? Are you here yet? Are you parking? What are you doing?
It's so good for accountability.
Yeah.
Nicole has a question. She said, I'm sure you've received a gold mine of advice from TA's masterful trainers throughout the years. Can you share something that you come back to often?
Oh my God. Lara, for one. Hey, Lara J. Which their voices are always in my head. Olivia's voice, SHINee's voice. SHINee's always, you can do it. Lara, get your shoulders down, relax, get that, because you're like, you know, trying to do a move, get that down. Maria Kelling, she never has to actually say anything. She just gives you that look. It's a great look, but it's, okay, or Olivia too. Olivia can give, because you can't hear in the studio and you hear blah, 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 and you just kind of will nod. It's just like they're so, when I think I can't do it, and Olivia and SHINee especially, and Sabina, I mean, they're all like, you can do it. I'm like, I'm really happy you think so. But I don't know where I'm supposed to fit this broom and a broomstick and a hoop and yeah, but they just like, you can do it. And it's true. It's like, you can do it. Just don't get your mind all screwed up.
Right. Absolutely. It's mind
over. Shoulders down, relax.
Yeah. That is an important reminder. I always have to remember that. So, yeah.
And on top of that, they want you to breathe.
Okay, we have a question also from Mick Dance Love. She said, what do your dogs think when you work out from home?
Oh my God. So they don't know what to think, including my husband. Like, nobody knows. Like a few of the surgeons that I work with, they all like try to imitate, and I should be filming them when they try to imitate.
Uh-huh.
But the dogs think I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
So the last few days, they kind of have walked into the room and just then gone to lay down. Then they're like, all right, wait. When there's like a change, when I'm like putting the ankles, like, now are we playing? Like, now. So.
Aw, that is so cute. Okay, we have lots of comments in here. Okay, here's another question from McDance Love. I think you touched on this a bit, but how has the method helped in your journey with MS, both physically, emotionally, and mentally?
Good question. I'm always a positive person, but it's given me more confidence in that. I hate ever living in fear. I refuse to live in fear. It's just, it doesn't work for me. Having fear, anxiety, or panic in any situation, I don't think nobody's ever said, yeah, that worked well.
Right.
Nobody ever said that.
Right.
So it's given me confidence, and I no longer, I've got to read my body. I've got to, pay attention to the signs, because there are days, for example, today, I didn't do TA today. I've done the past 2 days. Today I knew it was a day I probably just maybe needed to do some low impact like cardio, do some stretching, because I know tomorrow I will do it. But it's helped with my balance, my stamina, my energy levels. There's nothing like finishing that workout and when you hear that Velcro rip off from the ankle weights, and there's just that sense of accomplishment and, okay, we got this today. And it's because, there were days that I'd be like, and some days, yes, I have to, I'm my own worst enemy, because I have to be like, I can't do this today. I can't people please. It's okay. I'm going to take a me time here, and especially lately it's been kind of crazy. But it's like knowing where that balance is. And it's totally helped create balance where there is imbalance. And even when I think I'm balanced, then she switches it up that I'm imbalanced again. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize I had a muscle there. I didn't think I was born with that muscle.
Right. Okay, so we want to know, I know we know the answer to this question, but we're going to ask you, do you have workout partners?
Well, in the studio, the whole, even, Brentwood too, the girls at Brentwood, and like I said, the women at Brentwood, the family at the Tamily in Studio City, we just lift each other up. We lift each other up. I mentioned before Maria and Becky, Golsa and Jill, and there's two Jen Freeling, Jen McCall, May when she can be there, Caroline when she fights the 3-hour traffic to also drive up. It's just, and whenever somebody tells us that they're coming to town and they reach out on Instagram, we try to get everybody together to be there for them.
Yeah.
It's been pretty amazing. And then when I've been out of town, like I was visiting Miami because my stepson was going to school there, and I got to meet Fit Mama herself, Erica, and work in her TAM cave, which is pretty amazing. Her license plate says no fat. Like, it's like her abs are even more impressive in person. But and then I was in Hawaii, in the gym in Hawaii, and there was this other girl there in the little aerobics area, and I was kind of peering over her shoulder, and she was streaming, and my husband thought I must have fallen and hurt myself because I was like, ah! Like, and she was like, I'm like, you're doing Tracy, and that's somebody else that I'm in communication with. So it's just, we kind of like, even if we don't have a studio nearby, we have workout partners.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, two of your workout partners, Maria and May, would like me to ask you how you got to meet the Tamily when the Tamily would go to Studio City, and about your first class.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. Okay. So when I actually physically started going in there, it was September 2015. But these guys, I had no clue about Tamily or anything about Instagram. I feel like I'm an old lady, so it's like, so there was this one day that a bunch of people came in, and they were all wearing like West Coast Tamily tank top, and SHINee was doing my private that day, and May, and I was like, what is going on? She's like, oh, they're like social media, Instagram, and I'm like, like I had no idea what any of this like was, and she's like, they call themselves the Tamily, and I'm like, what? and then May, because apparently I'd just been coming in and out quickly from my privates, and when people would show up for class, then I'd be like, I better get out of here. So May came up to me and was like, hey, where's the bathroom? And I'm like, I don't know, I think it's over there with the showers, because everybody had wet hair that I would see it, but I never found, and I was like, oh, there's no showers here? This is the old studio, there's no showers here? Like, what the heck? But May had me at her first smile, and we were both clueless about the studio. It was her first day in the studio.
Oh, wow.
And then all those guys, Maria, they encouraged me when it came time to actually take class with them, and totally took me under their wing. Like, you can do this. Maria would have me on her left, and we knew it would good class if we kicked each other, if we're all together. It's like, but yeah, they just took me under their wing and were so supportive, because it's intimidating. It is totally intimidating. And May, Maria, oh my God, Maria, their laughs are just so infectious. So thank you, both of you, because I would have probably never, once the privates were done, I don't think I would have had that confidence to take a class. And because it's so funny, because when new people come in, it's on their mind of, what are people going to think of me? Yeah. And I'm going to look stupid, or I can't do this. And things I'll say, it's like, number one, nobody's that's really cute you think people are thinking of you. Whenever it's LA, everybody's thinking about themselves. Number one, it's none of your business what other people are thinking of you, and nobody's really probably thinking of you. And if they are thinking of you, it's none of your business. But you're here, we all lift each other up. That's what I love.
Yeah, that's the other element, that it's an amazing workout method, but the community makes it just on a whole nother level.
That's what made me stay. I mean, that's besides the other benefits, but I don't think I would have seen the benefits. The community outweighed the benefits and just kept me coming back. Absolutely.
So we have a question from Change Girl Tracy. I like to call her Change Girl Tracy, so we know it's not Tracy Anderson. But she says, how are you doing working out at home? Love to meet up with you again. You are such an inspiration.
Oh my God, love her. And see, I'm talking about inspiration. Like let me just say this about Tracy, Change Girl Tracy. Just talk about positive, and so inspirational, because I am now 50 and menopausal. And because in my brain, it's like the ones that have walked before me that I've seen, it's just menopause is not pretty. And she's walked through it with grace, dignity, beauty. She's amazing. So working out from home, it's been great because I work in medicine. I'm a physician assistant. I do neurosurgery, but it's kind of all hands on deck right now. And to be able to have the ability to stream and just this technology to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Because I never know I didn't put my phone on silent. But it's because I never know, like, when am I going to get a call or something to go. I can't schedule a private. I can't schedule. Well, it's a good thing because I wouldn't be able to probably be in the studio right now.
Right.
So it's been an adjustment. For example, my husband, he thinks he's got a right to work out at the same time as I do. I'm like, listening to him make, he's like got his thing. So I was trying to like make wrong. And then we got the dogs who think we're both playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. It's like, I call it a luxury problem. But
right.
It's it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. But I miss you all. I can't wait to work out with you guys all in person.
I can't imagine for those of you that's like your normal,
right?
And to be doing this, like for, streamers, this is normal for us. And then it's a total change, but it's just so amazing that we have this option.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't take for granted it's like, there's some people in the studio that you see that they come in and they're, on their phones, or I just, hey, it is whatever. Nobody knows what somebody else's deal is, but I do not take for granted being in the studio, having the heat and humidity there.
Yeah.
Just seeing people in person.
Yeah.
Dodging, dodging. Wait. So, I'm getting the immediate feedback from the trainers. I do not take that for granted, because who knows what tomorrow brings, who knows what next week, who knows, but all we have is today.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can you tell us if you've ever met Tracy Anderson?
I have. Wait, taking a sip here. It was funny. The first time I met Tracy, and I had no clue about the online thing. So I was doing a private with SHINee, and I was like, what? Because they were setting up mats in the Studio City location. And there was like this like heightened energy of like, and I was like, what is happening here? And SHINee was explaining that Tracy's coming to teach a class. And I was like, okay. And she's like, well, everybody's all excited. I'm like, okay. And so I'd been doing some privates for a while, and had seen some of the benefits that we were discussing. And Tracy just happened to be walking by, and I popped up. I'm like, hi. I'm like, I'm Jody. Just thank you for creating this method, because it's awesome. like in case you weren't aware of that. This is great, and this has helped me more than any physical therapy, like all the physical therapy sessions I've done. And she was like, oh, like, you're welcome. I was like, well, that's all I just want to tell you. Thanks, And so I went back to my private. So that was the first time I had met Tracy. And then the second was when I was able to go to a Vitality Week. It was in the Hamptons. And that was, let me see. It's like so funny. It's like time flies by. I'm like, when did I do that was January 2017.
Okay.
My husband was totally crazy because I had said I was going to go share a house in the Hamptons with some people I've never met before that just knew each other from Instagram. And it was, I met Caroline and Mary, and that was the first time meeting Julie at NYC or Texas. Julie Roberts.
Yeah.
And at Josie Lee and Erin Mini 2283.
Okay.
And, Renee Webb. And it was amazing. We just all showed up. It all clicked sharing this house. It was such and we had dinner with Tracy, and it was such an amazing experience. By the end of those 5 days, we were like all in our happy bubble, and it's like we were filled spiritually, and I'm still smiling. We're like, we need to just get together anyway, and we'll see if Tracy wants to show up. You're more than welcome. But it was, and just to see Tracy again, and her mind is a steel trap. She remembers every details, every you know, it's, and every time I get to see her, there's nothing like working out with Tracy. If you get the opportunity to work out next to her, it's just something special.
Definitely.
Yeah. And she's, yeah, love her.
She is amazing. Let's see. You've answered a couple more of these. What challenges have you faced in doing the method?
God, my back. Not that it's funny. It's never it's never Tracy Anderson that flares up my back. I can flare it up when I am sleeping. Like I will roll over in bed. Now, not so much. Now I'm good, but I had a rough year last year. And well, when I first started doing TA, I had a herniated disc and I'd lost my quadricep strength on the right side. And I worked through it I was supposed to have surgery, but then my strength came back, and I was working hard with SHINee. Maria Kelling designed a bands workout for me.
Okay.
So I was able to use the bands and kind of rehabilitate that way, and my strength did okay. But there's been sometimes with the MS initially with the heat, and I would use cold towels. Like I'd be in the trainers would see me, and they'd see probably before because I'm so stubborn, I'm like, I'm pushing through this. Next thing I know, I get hit in the face with a cold towel. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. And like, my vision would start to, I would know it was time for me to step outside. So there was an adjustment in that initially with the MS, and just knowing what my limitations were there and building up my tolerance.
Yeah.
But since it's either, so everything, I joke that I know worrying works because everything I worry about doesn't happen. Because I can worry about my back, and then it's like my knee that bothers me. Or I worry about my knee and then my back. So it's usually physical stuff, not mental. It's all like physical limitations. Because and even that, I try to just keep pushing through, and the trainers are great. Olivia, they'll see a move and okay, maybe you can modify it this way. Let's work with it this way. Or maybe you shouldn't do this move. That's okay. Yeah. And just being able to tell myself that this is okay. This is just for today. Whenever I've reached a physical thing, whether it's I'm on ice for a few days, it's just telling myself, and even after my back surgeries, and then I had a fracture in my back, it's just for today. This isn't forever. You are just here today. And if maybe I'm going through whatever I'm going through today, is so I can help one other person in the world by telling them my experience, then that's it. Or denial, whichever, it works.
Well, Maybelle has said that she threw that towel at you with love. She just wanted
she has.
you to know that.
She's thrown a few things at me. All with love. All with love.
So why is your workout important to you in particular?
It makes me feel alive. It makes me feel, because having MS, and I reach out and just talk a lot with a lot of MS warriors, and in addition, other people with autoimmune illnesses, or they've had brain trauma, and even in my field, I do spine surgery. I've also did brain surgery before, and it's very easy. It's so easy to get into a state of hopelessness and latch on to wherever you're at that point in life, latching onto that and making that your identity. So it's no. I may have whatever it is, XYZ, but it doesn't have me. So that's just, it's, okay, it's there. So working out for me, even if it I'm even just stretching, like when I couldn't really get out of bed, or just stretching or moving, it makes me feel alive. Makes me feel, because I don't like to say handicapped or disabled. It's, it's my husband used to do P90X, and I had the opportunity to meet Tony Horton, who's an awesome guy. And I will never forget, because it was like around the time when I had my knee, I had 2 knee surgeries. And he was just like, well, why aren't you doing P90X with me? And I'm like, duh, like, hello, and he was just like, you hurt your lowers, you work your core and your uppers. You work your uppers, you hurt your uppers, you can work your core. And he was just, I love his attitude. And I remember, I'm like, I love that. It's like, just because, instead of thinking about what you can't use, think about what you can. Instead of thinking about what you don't have, be happy with what you do have. So.
Right. It is all about perspective.
Yep, totally.
Can you tell us, actually, I want to ask, what is your routine about, like, which workout you're doing, especially since you usually go to the studio, and are you using heat and humidity at home too?
I don't have the heat and humidity at home. I don't have the luxury to be able to do that. I wish I could in the area that I'm working out. It just doesn't work. So I try to do some layers and kind of layer up that way.
Yeah.
So I turn the temperature up as much as I can in the area, but I try to see what my workout's going to be. So before my back surgery, I was doing the custom program in the studio.
Okay.
So every 10 workouts, Maria Kelling would change what my workout was going to be.
Okay.
But since I injured my back and I've been trying to get back to the studio, what I've been doing is the fundamental.
Okay.
I work towards it. I kind of was, at home doing some of my own sort of Tracy moves that, I would look at people's Instagrams. So thank y'all for posting your workouts. I wasn't streaming at the time.
Okay.
I didn't have streaming. And I was trying to do that, trying to stretch, trying to get myself prepared to come back to the studio. So I don't know if when, again, one of those things of I don't know what the future may hold, not to get discouraged, but for right now, as I ease into it, being in communication with Tamily, with the trainers, but Olivia is my prescription person now, and also, speaking with Maria Kelling, that I get to come in and hopefully we'll get back, but to start doing fundamental and just see how that goes. But yeah, I look at everybody's attain and I'm like, in my brain I can do it, but my body's going,
yeah. It's like one or the other. Sometimes your body can do it and your brain doesn't want to, and then the other way.
Like, I so can freaking do a headstand. Like, but I only started wearing ankle weights 2 workouts ago. I just started wearing the ankle weights. I was putting a gradual thing of no ankle weights to when everybody's putting on the heavy weights, I was putting on the small ankle weights.
Okay.
And making my way. And then Olivia still shot me a message going, you be careful. Like, what are you doing?
Oh,
so, yeah.
Oh, that's very sweet. So do you do dance cardio as well, or what is your perspective about that?
I love dance cardio. It's double-sided because I've sat, where Tracy's said, as we get older, like you only need like 20 minutes of dance cardio because I feel like when I was running a lot of miles too, I just felt like it wore on my face, the constant bouncing up and down and my joints. And if you don't have a good flooring or good footwear, it can be really hard on your joints. And after my back surgeries too, and when I tell my own patients, it's, it's like if you really like there's no need for anybody to with back issues you can run everything in moderation. You can do 3. You can do 3 miles. You can do some dance cardio. But there's just nothing. There's nothing like it. I love the Tracy dances. I love just because it's like it just engages your brain in such a way. It's like, oh wait, now my feet go where? Now this goes where? So I do love it. Was getting back into it when the studios have all closed here.
Yeah.
So I'm not great at remembering the dances. So it's funny because I'll be being at home here, and I was like, what are the dances that I just like chassé side? I knew that one by the back of my hand. I knew, and I was just like, wait, what comes next? Like I'm so used to following everybody else, and in the studio. But
and the energy.
I love it, but I'm just the bouncing on my face and my back.
Right. Can you tell us, even though we sort of already know, but can you tell us where you live and what you do?
Oh, I live in Los Angeles, California, and I am a physician assistant. So I do started off emergency medicine trauma back in Boston. I'm from Boston originally.
Okay.
And came out here and figured I'd get a day job when I was diagnosed with MS. I just really couldn't take all the different shift changes. So I was like, I'll get a day job. I'll do neurosurgery. So I did brain for almost a year, and past 17 years I've been doing spine surgery. So yeah.
Amazing. It's so interesting to me to learn what people in the Tamily do.
It's just, well, that's why the streaming has been so awesome, because here in California, I mean, I'm feeling for New York, we're in a really great prep state, at least at the hospital that I work at. I'm at Cedars-Sinai, and we are very prepared. We have beds available, we have ventilators, we have enough equipment. We're all working together, and so I never know when I will be called in, have to, I didn't know when I would be able to get out of the hospital the other night. And then to be able to take an hour to be able to stream and feel like, all right, I'm still in here somewhere. Okay.
Yes.
And then I was like, wait, it's Friday or Thursday or Tuesday or what day is it? Yeah. And this morning I was like, oh, I think I'm actually going to get a chance to shower. This is great.
Right. Oh gosh. Well, thank you for what you do in your profession and for, your dedication during this time as well.
But it's easier to do our jobs because everybody's doing their part. Thankfully, that everybody that's staying at home, thank you for staying at home right now. If you don't think like it's making a difference, it's absolutely helping. It's helping.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, that is definitely the most important thing right now. Completely. Okay, let's see what our other questions are for you. You probably sort of talked about this, but how exactly did you discover the Tamily?
Wait, say that one again. Wait, which one?
How exactly did you discover the Tamily? Was it just them telling you about it at the studio?
When it came in with their West Coast Tamily tank top, and SHINee had said they call themselves the Tamily, and I was like, okay. And then because I still wasn't on Instagram, but I think I had an Instagram name.
Okay.
But I think I still never used it. I don't even know what I used it for. But
I know, I can't remember what I used Instagram for.
I know. Well, look back. Well, here's the funny thing is I look back and I had never posted pictures of myself, like never mind in just a sports bra.
Right.
or whatever, or working out before Tamily. And I had to look back when was one of the questions. I was looking back when my first post was, and it was April 2016.
Okay.
And like 8 likes it was me, SHINee, Paige, and Lara. Lara was, I think, shadowing at the time. She was just in training. Taylor Day was at the time, and we were all, you know, I was like, oh my God, I just having to scroll back. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's almost 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, a post on Instagram.
Yeah. And
that's amazing though that your first post was with trainers.
Yeah. Well, it was, I think everybody had gone home for the day and I was still there knowing me talking. And, I don't even know what it was. They're like, hey, let's all take a picture. And it was, I posted it yesterday and I haven't seen her, you know, seen Paige in ages since she had moved to New York, and she reached out. It was just, we're like, oh, miss seeing people physically, but happy to see them or hear from them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I had one class, I think, with Paige in New York, and I almost died during before weights. She
used to scare me. And I remember she had said, you know, some people find me scary. I'm like, me, me. I'm like, man, I love you. Like, I get it.
She's the first trainer that like wasn't Tracy that I ever, you know, because I was streaming with Tracy, and I thought it would be disappointing to have someone that wasn't Tracy, and then I almost died in 5 minutes, and I was like, why is this girl so difficult?
She would psych me out, but then it's like you look at her, she floats. It's just with her dancing and just her movements, she just floats. I could watch Paige move.
Yeah.
She's just so beautiful.
It's amazing to look delicate and to be like just a rock solid warrior. Like it's amazing to me.
Yeah, no, agree.
She's definitely wonderful.
I'll never forget. We were doing, I can't remember because I didn't know the names of the dances. I can't remember which name of the dance was, but we had to get down low. And I remember her yelling at the class. She's like, I am taller than all of you. Why am I the lowest? We were all like, oh God. Get low.
Oh, that's funny. They're all so amazing.
Every single one there's just something special about. Tracy has built such a great team.
Oh, seriously.
On both coasts, on every studio. It's just, it takes a special personality. It's kind of like we used to say, you know, it's with emergency medicine, when I was doing emergency medicine, like it takes a special personality to be in the emergency department.
Right.
It takes a special personality to be a Tracy trainer. Absolutely. Absolutely.
They are truly amazing people.
They're psychiatrists. They're therapists. They're
right. Definitely. Thank goodness for them. So we've asked you the planned questions. I think I asked everything in the chat. I just want to double check. Of course, if anyone has any more questions, we have a few more minutes. Did you tell us what advice you would give someone that's new to the method?
Hey, wait, sorry.
I lost my interview person, so we can look at that gorgeous view for a couple minutes.
Dude, really? I'm in the middle of something. Stay over there. I'm going to shift over this way. Sorry, what was the question?
The question was,
okay.
Do you have any advice for someone new to the method?
Yes. I'm going to get away from this bee.
A mobile interview.
A mobile interview, exactly. Alrighty. If you're new to the method, okay, here we go. Do not be intimidated. Just get out of your head. when you think I can't do this, I'm not capable, I'll never be able to do this. What's the point? I don't know about any of you, but day one of any program or the routines, I'm like, that all goes through my head in 2 seconds. That all goes through my head. So if you are new, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Set a goal, and just do it. And I've seen so many people's progress. Oh my God, TA menopausal. It's like you see how people, and it's hard to see our own progress. So before you get discouraged, and you don't get to compare yourself to anybody else except for yourself. That's number one. It's like, I can't compare myself to what Tracy looks like. I can't compare myself to somebody else that I've never been able to fall forward and touch my head to my knees and grab my feet. That's not a skill set of mine ever. Even in ballet class when I was 4, I don't remember ever being
right.
So yeah, do not get discouraged. You don't get to be discouraged. When you start to be discouraged, you give yourself, you can feel that way for 5 minutes and then you got to move on.
Right.
Set a time clock.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. Okay, so let me just make sure. You have tons of smiley faces. Maria put a bee in the chat. We've got all kinds of things going on.
All right, speaking of bees, my bee's gone, so I'll be back over here.
Well, we have a few minutes left before Instagram will automatically cut us off. So, is there anything else you would like to say to the Tamily while you have this audience?
Oh, that wasn't a question. I'm like, oh, that's a good question. Even if I haven't met you, I relate to you, I feel you, love you, and especially with everything that we are going through right now, it's like if you're an introvert, like, believe it or not, I am an introvert. I've been training for this event.
Very hard to believe.
I've been training for this event for years. like, yeah, I get to stay inside and not shower, and like, yay. That was probably TMI. But stay connected. Just even reaching out, even when you don't want to, do it. You got to do that contrary action. So reach out to 5 people maybe you normally wouldn't. Each day, either call them, text, just 5 people a day. And just so people do feel connected.
Yeah.
It is easy because you don't know who's out there, that all it takes is sending them a happy emoji or calling, actually old school, picking up the phone. Old people just pick up the phone. It's just 5 people a day. Just reach out, especially when you don't want to.
That's when you need to.
There may be a day that you feel discouraged, that you don't want to talk to anybody. So if you're making those calls and reaching out on the days that you feel good, maybe helping somebody that's not so good, it's easier to reach out when you need the help.
Yeah.
Yeah. And call or text me anytime, please. Reach out on IG or whatever. See, I never would have met you.
Right.
Yeah, we're like, yay.
Yay.
And Nicole, this is, and God, this is awesome. What a great platform.
It's so much fun, especially like now when we really, really, really need to be connected.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing thing. Like, I love that we can do this, and we'll keep doing it forever. I mean, there's thousands of us in the Tamily, so.
With everything else that's going on, okay, be smart. Keep your hands off your face. If you do need to touch your face, use something else.
Right.
But don't panic. There's no need to panic, and there's no need to fear. Anxiety, it's just, that's, like we were saying, that never helps any situation. So just be smart. Be smart and be happy and be grateful.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad we were able to interview you during this time. You've been a very inspirational Tamily spirit during this interview.
Thank you. It's everybody that we all inspire each other.
Absolutely.
That's because, like you said, like on a day that I don't feel like working out, I will in the morning, I'll look at IG and I'll see somebody else, like Tracy McNeil. Tracy, oh my God, love her. So inspirational. And she's another one that I will reach out to. And this morning I saw that her Fitbit. I'm like, oh, I got to do something. And so she and she's just such a gem. Oh my God. It's, yeah. What a great community.
Amazing. It's the best community on earth.
It really is. And you try to explain this to the, what do you call them, a layperson. You can't, it's like explaining the workout.
Right.
It's explaining Tracy arms, like people just, they don't get it.
They don't get it.
Do it.
They have to be part of it to understand it.
Yeah, you can't describe. Just do it. Even now, Lara's in my head. I'm like, get your shoulders down.
I know. I'm thinking about it too.
Shoulders down.
Well, thank you so much for being interview 88, Jody. We really, really had fun. And this interview will be on my page for the next 24 hours, and then we'll put it on YouTube forever.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Tamily, for watching. Have a great weekend. Everybody stay safe and healthy and at home as much as you can.
Please.
Thanks, Jody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.